Extra time.
Hello and welcome to the Extra Time Football Show. We have a very special guest today, Akbar Nawaz. You all know him because of the reason that Chennai City FC has been performing exceedingly well in this season of the Hero Idea. Welcome to the chat show.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Yes, same here. I mean, what has been the success mantra so far? It has been like a roller coaster ride.
No, I think all boils down to the diligence of our chairman, Mr. Rohit. He wanted to actually do something different this year. He wanted to start from scratch. Let's get the scouting done right. Let's go over and find the right foreigners. Let's get the scouting done right for the locals. Let's do it right from the start. So that's what we did. We started scouting the foreigners, the locals, and then we put up a team. Had a philosophy in mind, and obviously the philosophy sits in very well with what I wanted to do, with what the chairman wanted to do, and we trained. We just elevated the level of game intelligence that the locals has, and integrated them with the foreigners.
You had a very successful stint with Tampa and Rovers as well, and now you have been working with Chennai City FC. Which one was tougher compared to the
I think obviously Chennai City is tougher in my own personal opinion, because with Tampines I had like maybe almost all national players in my first 11 at least. I had maybe about 11-12 national players who are easily the first 11 of even the national team of Singapore. And last year I was in the Philippines, and I had also about 6 to 7 national players in my side, and all are experienced players. They've been there, done that. So the last 2 years when I was in Philippines and Japanese, we fought for titles. But also because apart from me coaching them, I also had the players who were fighting for titles year in, year out. But with Chennai City is different. Chennai City, they are new. I think the only experienced player we have probably is Edwin, and Romario to a certain extent, who started some games last year. And with that, we have a new bunch of players who are very raw to actually comparative football in terms of senior level. And the foreigners that we brought in also is first time out for them, outside their own comfort zone, outside their own country. So everything was new. So with Chennai City, definitely is a lot more enriching. Apart from me coaching them, I also had the players who were fighting for titles year in, year out. But with Chennai City is different. Chennai City, they are new. I think the only experienced player we have probably is Edwin, and Romario to a certain extent, who started some games last year. And with that, we have a new bunch of players who are very raw to actually comparative football in terms of senior level. And the foreigners that we brought in also is first time out for them, outside their own comfort zone, outside their own country. So everything was new. So with Chennai City, definitely is a lot more enriching, but a lot more challenging, I would say.
Teams like Real Kashmir, West Bengal, I mean to some extent Morocco as well. I mean, all are running for their money. So what do you think? Cool. All are running for their money. Teams like West Bengal, Chennai City FC, West Bengal, Real Kashmir. 3 teams are running for their money at the moment, and with the firepower all these 3 teams have, anyone can lift the title. So according to you, who are your toughest composition?
Obviously East Bengal, for sure. I mean, they have the experience, they've been there, done that. They have teams like East Bengal, Mohan Bagan, who's year in, year out, they're always fighting for titles. You have to give them the credit though, that they have the experience, of being winning titles. Well, I think I read an article where I think Baichung Bhutia mentioned that we might run into a problem because of the experience of not fighting for titles, like Chennai City or Kashmir not fighting for titles, and East Bengal would have more composure towards the run-up. Well, that plays a part, but at the end of the day, for us at Chennai City FC and for myself, if we just keep on sticking to our game plan, where we go game after game, where we have to look into each game and compete in every game, then I think that suits us well, that suits us fine. Doesn't matter whether we are fighting for title or not. We just want to fight for every game we play, win every game that we play, and if we lose or draw as professionals, we have to ask ourselves why we lost, why we draw, and how we can improve.
As a young team, as an inexperienced team like Chennai City FC, we have seen as well that the team was doing exceedingly well, and then off late, one or two slips and all. So, in fact, what do you think? I mean, how tough it would be for the team to maintain that momentum which they have carried?
I think with all teams, with due respect to any teams anywhere in the world, even in my previous clubs, there will be a time where you will hit a patch like this. Your form can't go, straight on the whole season. There'll be a time where you go through a rough patch.
As a young team, as an inexperienced team like Chennai City FC, we have seen as well that the team was doing exceedingly well, and then off late, one or two slips and all. So, in fact, what do you think? I mean, how tough it would be for the team to maintain that momentum which they have carried?
I think with all teams, with due respect to any teams anywhere in the world, even in my previous clubs, there will be a time where you will hit a patch like this. Your form can't go, straight on the whole season. There'll be a time where you go through a rough patch, and I hope with this rough patch that we've gone through, which is only I think 1 or 2 games, and we could just hit up and running again. The most important thing, like what I mentioned earlier, if we just go back and tell ourselves, look, we have a game tomorrow, we have another game coming on, and we just look forward going to that game and compete in that game and win that game, and then all will be fine. We just have to look at that game, win it, and let's see what happens.
All the teams are striving and struggling rather in terms of recruiting quality foreigners, and this is where Chennai City had the upper hand right from the start of the season, because you had 4 outright outstanding foreigners, starting with the goal Santana, and then Nestor Godillo, Pedro Manzi. So all of the foreigners are complementing each other. So could you please tell me about it?
Well, I think credit got to go to my previous assistant coach, Jordi Villa. He had connections in Spain. He was a former scout with Barcelona, and we all know that he was with Pep also. I met him in Philippines last year. We became friends. That's how I roped him in to Chennai City FC before actually he took up another job in New York City. I mean, credit to him because he brought me to Spain together. With his contacts, he had a list of like maybe 10 players for us to look for us to go and watch. And we watched almost, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 games throughout the 3 weeks, looking at all these players, the names that we were given, the names that he scouted, and then we just picked the players that would fit into the system that we want to play. I guess that's important.
Thank you so much, and all the very best for the remaining part of the season.
No problem. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.